Welcome to the Microsoft Partner Innovation Vodcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Zarate. Small businesses are crucial, not only to our economy, but also to the Microsoft partner ecosystem. And Microsoft has been hard at work enabling our partners focused on the small business segment to succeed. So I've invited Heather Gordon, Worldwide SMB Segment Lead, and Aileen Hanna, Director of SMB Voice of the Customer at Microsoft, to tell us just how. Thank you both for being here with me today.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here, Jennifer. Thanks for having us.
Well, it's great to have you both on. And now with us connecting remotely, where are you two joining me from?
Yeah, absolutely. Today we're from sunny Seattle for a change.
So in this top of mind episode, I'm excited to learn more about how Microsoft works to empower SMBs. But before we jump into that, tell us about your roles at Microsoft. What do you do and how that relates to our partners serving small businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't I kick us all off? So I lead the SMB business globally for Microsoft and really look at the business end to end. And, you know, as I think about SMB, partners are absolutely critical to everything that we do. Aileen, over to you.
Well, and I work with Heather. I provide customer insights that highlight the customer trends, the challenges, and the opportunities so that we can keep building better products, better experiences for our SMB customers. And of course, partners are a huge part of that.
Now, when we talk about SMBs, people may define it differently. So let's start by defining what we mean by SMB and some of their characteristics through the Microsoft lens.
SMBs for sure can be defined in more than one way. And if you factor in all the SMBs, including owner-operated businesses, you're looking at about 400 million organizations globally. I mean, that's just incredible. And they may individually be small, but collectively they're mighty. They account for 50% of global employment and contribute between 45 to 50% of the world's GDP. The way we at Microsoft define an SMB or a small and medium business is based on the number of employees that the organization has. So to us, a small business would have in and around, between 1 to 25 that we would say is very small. And then medium business would be, 25 to 300 range. And when we look at the number of organizations that fall in that category, there's about 149 million organizations. In terms of seat-based technologies, this type of segmentation is a relatively good approach. However, what we know is there's definitely a different profile of SMBs out there that we refer to as digital native. And these businesses are more digitally mature, and their product to their customer is a digital tech-based offer. Think of an Airbnb or an Uber when they first started out. They may have been a small business in terms of the number of people that they employ, but they are digitally mature and their overall technology needs are vastly different.
And that digital maturity also has implications for partners and what they offer those different groups of customers. In that more traditional business model, the smaller businesses rarely have an IT team. And it's not until you get to about 50 employees where you start to see a dedicated IT resource. And of course, that changes the proposition that the partner can make to the customer. What we see at the lower end is that these customers tend to be very price sensitive. So they're looking for very simple engagements, maybe free or freemium applications. But as more employees join those businesses, those organizations shift and they need help from a partner. And they very often rely on managed service providers, especially around security. Now, the digital native groups, they have a different set of needs from partners, and they're really looking for a trusted advisor that can help them plan ahead on how technology can keep their business at the forefront of the customer experience they're trying to create. But there's also a category in between. So you've got businesses that are moving from being more traditional, really ramping up their digital maturity. And these customers, again, are looking for partners to play a very, very significant role in that transition, advising them and helping them to implement and transition.
So really important, right, as we identify those and then finding the opportunities in each. So to dig a little deeper into that, what are a few of the ways that Microsoft serves SMBs and the business opportunity for partners within the SMB space?
We spend a lot of time listening to what our customers tell us so we know what's top of mind for them. And we can distill it down to 4 main categories. Number one, against the backdrop of this global pandemic and all the geopolitical issues that have led to rising in cost of living, supply chain issues, and all the other uncertainties, SMBs are highly concerned about cybersecurity. And we've actually seen this rise to be their top concern over the last 2 years through the multitudes of customer satisfaction surveys that we've done. Number two on the list is their business growth. And they're really focusing on thinking about how can they find new customers and how can they grow the existing customers that they have, thereby increasing their profits. And the third is to really remain productive across a variety of working models. And increasingly, we're seeing SMBs look for ways to keep their staff engaged. And this really leads to themes around well-being. This is a key concern for our customers as they think about how do they keep their employees healthy and operating. And finally, business owners want to run their business as efficiently as possible, which increasingly is extending into areas like AI and automation. And as SMBs learn more about how they can do things in the digital world that just weren't possible in the analog one. So needless to say, we have technologies and solutions that span all the needs of SMBs, everything I touched on there plus more. And I think about those, we've got Microsoft advertising solutions through Microsoft 365, Teams, Advanced Security, Dynamics, and let's not forget Power Platform. There's several benefits that Microsoft can offer to all of our SMBs. And our technology integrates and interoperates, which really means customers can start with a solution to solve one business challenge, but as their business needs grow, they can evolve and change as they need to be. And this is easier to add on and, to these new technologies. We also have an industry-leading channel, which means that SMBs selecting Microsoft technologies always have access to trusted advisors that can really help them realize all these true business benefits.
And I love that, right? Being able to help them with, all of the different, categories, all the different things that have come up. And of course, as a result of the pandemic, in trying to manage all of that, but also giving them a choice, right? Customers, these small businesses, a choice and finding the right partner, the best partner to work with. So how can SMBs benefit from partnering with Microsoft, either as an official Microsoft partner or employing Microsoft solutions?
So the vast majorities of SMBs will fall into that traditional customer category that we mentioned earlier. So if you think to that 149 million customers, most of them are traditional, and they're likely to purchase through a Microsoft partner. And so in this instance, the customer would get the benefit not only of the Microsoft technologies that Heather outlined, but the added benefit of a partner's experience and their capabilities. And they're much more likely to specialize either in an industry that a particular customer is in, so they understand how to deploy those technologies tailored to what the customer is looking for, or even geographically, so they can be there on hand to support those customers. And then many partners engage more deeply because they know what it means or what a customer needs to be successful, because they spend time day in and day out with these customers. And then that second group that we mentioned, the digital natives, these customers actually may become partners in their own right because they are developing solutions, or they may be developing apps. So they may even classify themselves as what we would call an ISV, at which point we would direct them more towards the Founders Hub. So there's another set of tools and resources that would help them drive their business forward. So really, depending on the business model of the customer, the type of partner that they would engage with would be different. And then the opportunities for those partners to support the customers also differs.
Wow, really great options in terms of, the different opportunities SMBs can take with Microsoft. And with that, I'm excited to share we have the opportunity to get a first look at some breaking insights that will be discussed further at Microsoft Inspire, findings from a study called SMB Landscape and Attitudes. So, what could you share with us in terms of some of those insights in providing our audience here a little bit of a teaser?
Yeah, so we are excited, and please look out for our on-demand panel session, where we'll be joined by Stella Boken from Analysis Mason, who directed the research, and you'll hear from Karen Fazio from our scale team, Aileen, and myself. I'm really excited about these findings, and they come from a significant body of research, which we did with over 3,000 SMBs across 10 different geographies and tested 26 different hypotheses. We'll share insights into what SMBs are prioritizing, how they're thinking about their IT budgets, and what role they want partners to play. I don't want to give away too much, but it won't surprise partners to know that we continue to see customers looking for support from managed service providers. And we have some insights to share about what customers are looking for from their solution providers.
The findings also show that customers who are early adopters report faster and larger growth than those that are slower to adopt. Early adopters are more likely to have a robust business plan. They are strikingly more optimistic about the future. It's a massive difference of 60% of early adopters versus 22% of those who adopt more slowly. And we also see them focus more beyond what the products are that they're investing in and really looking at the partners and indeed the technology vendors' ESG initiatives. So their corporate and social responsibility investments and priorities. 54% select social goals as a key business objective over the next 2 to 3 years. So again, as partners are thinking about how to frame their business and the opportunity to these customers, that's an important point to bear in mind. They are also more likely to expect technology to improve their competitive position. 35% see that as a strategic advantage versus 27% in the less early adopter space. So some really juicy insights, and we really encourage everybody to attend that session to learn more.
And now Microsoft Inspire 2022 is July 19th and 20th, where you, Heather, will be hosting a session delivering your insights from the whole study. How can people join that session?
Yeah, absolutely. So the session is called OD18, and it's called Insights into the SMB Landscapes and Opportunities. And you can go to inspire.microsoft.com to register for that. And what we'll do is we're actually going to start with the Inspire session, where we're going to provide a preview of the findings ahead of the study, which will be published in the following weeks.
Well, I, for one, cannot wait to learn more about these findings and, of course, tuning into that session come Inspire in July. And there you have it. Thank you both for your time today. That's a wrap on another episode of the MPI Vodcast. I'm Jennifer Zarate.